Hi everyone, this is Sheikh, and from past few videos I've been working on developing a lectures management system using PHP Codeigniter AJAX and jQuery. In my last video I completed the functionality of registration, and in this video I will discuss about developing the functionality of login. Okay, so before starting this video I just want to tell you that if you like this video, click on like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel so that you will get continuous updates on my upcoming videos. Okay, so now let us start our video where we will see how to develop login functionality using PHP Codeigniter AJAX and jQuery. Okay, so now this is our complete application which we will be going to develop in this complete tutorial series. Okay, so and I have already given you the complete overview of this application at the very beginning video of this tutorial series. Okay, so now let us move to our project which we are working in this tutorial series, which is lecturers. Okay, so here I have already developed that functionality of login. Okay, and in this video I will explain you how you can write the code, both HTML and PHP, to develop this functionality of login. Okay, so let me just log in to this system. Okay, so here I have created this small form with two text boxes, email and password, and I have registered two users. One I have registered as a admin, and another user I have registered as a normal user. Okay, so now I will log in as an admin. Okay, so now when I logged in as an admin, it will display me an message as admin dashboard along with my name. Okay, and I will log out from this session. Okay, now I will log in as a normal user. Here I will click on let me just click on submit without entering any information in this password text field. Then it will give me an error. Okay, so this complete form is fully validated, and I will enter the password, and when I click on submit it will display me another message as user dashboard. Since this Michael is a normal user, that's why at the time of login itself I'm making a distinction. I'm identifying which user I have registered as an admin and which user I have registered as a normal user, so that I can display appropriate view to both of these users. Okay, so now when a normal user gets logged in, it will display him a message as user dashboard along with the name of the user, and when an admin gets logged in it will display a message as admin dashboard along with the name of that user. Okay, so this is what we will be going to see in this complete video. Okay, let me just log out. Okay, so for creating this functionality we have to create a login view where I can display this form. Okay, so here as you can see I have created a file with a name as login view, and that file I have created inside my views folder. Inside views folder I have created a login view.php file, and inside that file I have written all my HTML markup. I have included header at the top, which is inside the inc folder, header and footer. Okay, and then I have created a container, and inside the container I have created a div with a class of row, and I have given a class it as a justify content between. Okay, so these all classes are belongs to bootstrap framework. Okay, and then I have created a 4-column layout. Okay, and that layout I have tried to bring in the center of the page. Okay, where I have left 4 columns on the left side and 4 columns on the right side, and I am displaying the content in between of the page inside 4 column. Okay, and here inside this row I am displaying a message. So whenever any invalid user tries to get logged in with this system, then I should display user an appropriate message saying that this user is not found, kind of message. Okay, so let me just show you that. I will enter the details of a user which is not been registered yet inside the system, and let us see what message the system will display to that user. Okay, so I have not registered any user with these credentials, so now when I'm trying to log in with these credentials, then it will display me user not found message. Okay, so for displaying this error message, I have used a flash data method of session library. Okay, and then I'm creating a panel, and then panel heading with a title as login, which you can see at the very top. Okay, and then panel body. Inside panel body, I have created a form with method as post and action attribute. I'm sending a post request to user method of login controller. Okay, so here I have created a login controller. You can see here, this is the login controller which I have created inside this controllers folder, and I have created a user method. To this user method I am sending a post request from my view. Okay, so we will discuss that login controller after a few minutes once I complete a discussion on this view. Okay, so here I have created a form. With this form I'm sending a post request to user method present inside the login controller, and then here I'm creating an text box for entering the details of email, and this one is for displaying the error message. If the user tries to submit the form without entering any information in email text box, then it will display him an error message. Okay, so let me just show you that. Login. Okay, now if I try to submit the form without entering any information in this text boxes, then it will display the user messages as the email field is required and password field is required. So for displaying these kind of error messages, we have to make use of this error form. Okay, and then I have created a text box for entering the details of password, and then I have created a submit button, and at the end I have included my footer file. Okay, so this is my login view. If I want to access this login view, then I have to go to my login controller. Okay, so here I have created a login controller which extends to Codeigniter controller. Okay, so this is my base class, base controller. Okay, and inside that login controller I have created a constructor method. Inside that constructor method I have loaded a login model which will be required for writing down the queries to interact with the database. Okay, and then I have created an index method. Okay, so whenever I access this login controller, then the very first function or the method will get executed is the index method, and inside that index method I have made a call to my login view. Okay, so this is the view which I have explained just now. Okay, so I'm loading this view inside my login controller's index function by using this load view. So once you do here till here, then you will see this form login. Okay, now I'm accessing the login controller. So when I press enter, then the very first function which gets executed is the index function, and inside the index function I have made a call to my login view. Okay. Now the next thing is, whenever I click on submit button after entering the email and password, then a request should get sent to user method inside the login controller. Okay, so that you have seen here inside this form, I'm making a post request to my user method present inside login controller. Okay, so for that we need to go to our login controller, and here you can see I have created a function with the name as user, and here I have set up the rules for my email and password. Okay, I have used the form validation library, and I'm using the set rules method of form validation library, and inside that I'm passing the name which I have given to my login view email text box. Okay, so here I have given a name as email, so the same name I need to refer here, email. Okay, and this is the label, and I want this field to be required, and I want this field to be valid email field. Okay, and then I have set the rules for password. Okay, and to this as well, the name password, this should get exactly match with the name I have given to this password field in my form. Okay, so once you set up the rules, then you need to run an if condition. Okay, so inside this if condition I'm checking if everything works fine. Okay, if a user enters the valid email address and if user enters the password properly, okay, and when the user click on the submit button after entering email and password, then control will come inside this if condition. Okay, if in case user has not entered anything inside both of these text boxes or in any of the text box and tries to submit the form, then an error gets generated. Okay, and that error I will be displaying using the set flash data method of the session library. Okay, which is user not found, and that I'm printing inside my view here at the top. Okay, and then immediately I'm redirecting the user again to the login form. So suppose if the user has properly entered email and password, then I will take the email of that user and its password, and I will store those email and password inside this email and password variables, and then I will call the user exist function present inside login model, and to that function I will pass email and password. Then control will come here inside the login model. Okay, so here you can see I have created a login model class which extends the base model, which is Codeigniter model. Okay, inside that I have created a function with a name as user exist, and to that function I am passing email and password which user will be entering at the time of login. Okay, and here inside this I am checking inside the TPL users, is there any record present inside the table with the entered email and password. If it finds any record, then it will return that complete row. Okay, so once it returns that row, then control will come back to the login controller here, and here I will check if this user exist method returns any value. Okay, then this if condition will get executed. Okay, that means if I find any record inside my table with the entered username and password, then what I will do is I will get the data from that row. Okay, which is this row. Okay, let me just show you that. Okay, so now I will come here. Since here inside this login model I'm returning the row, which means that complete row of that user. So let me just show you the details of that user. Okay, so now I will show you that row which this login model is returning with help of this user exist method. Okay, so now let me just come back to my login controller, and I will try to log in with the user credentials which I have already registered. Okay, I have entered the username, which is email and password, and now when I click on submit, you will see it has returned me the each and every piece of details of that user. Okay, it has returned me that row. Okay, so from this row I will get the username details. Okay, so here as you can see I'm getting the username detail, user ID, email and level. Okay, so this user has a level S2, which means it's a normal user. Okay, if it would had a level of 1, then it will be considered as an admin. Okay, let me show you that as well. Home logout, and okay, so now when admin gets logged in, you will see the level gets changed to 1. Okay, which indicates that this user is an admin. Okay, so from this row I will be collecting the username, user ID, okay, and then email and level, and all these details I will store inside the session. Okay, let me just delete all these things. Okay, as you can, okay, and all these details I'm storing in the form of an array, and then I'm passing that array, which is session data, inside the session. Okay, as you can see, I'm calling a session library, and I'm using the set user data method of the session library, and inside that I'm passing this entire array. Okay, that means I'm storing all these details of the user who is getting logged in inside the session. So I'm taking only the level data from that session to check whether the user who is trying to log in is a normal user or an admin. Okay, based on that I will be loading my view. So at the time of login itself, I will take the level data from the session, and with the help of that level I will make a distinction between admin and user. Okay, as I already told you that admin will be having a level of 1 and normal user will be having a level of 2. Okay, so at the time of logged in, since I'm storing the details of that user inside the session, and I will be storing level details as well. Okay, so from that level detail I will make a distinction between admin and user. So if the level is equals to 1, that means the user who is trying to log in is an admin. Okay, if the level is 1, then I will redirect the user to the admin controller, which is this is the admin controller. Okay, otherwise I will redirect the user to the user controller, which is the controller I have made for maintaining the details of all the users. Okay, so I hope you have understood. Okay, and in else part I have already told you, if anything goes wrong, if the user has entered wrong credentials, then I will display the user as user not found message. Okay, and here I have another else condition. Okay, so at the time of login, if anything goes wrong, then I will redirect the user again back to the index page. Okay, that I have written inside the else condition. Okay, so now I hope you have understood this complete functionality of login. Okay, and now we will move on to the next controller, which is our admin controller. Okay, as I have told you that if the admin tries to log into the system, then I will check whether the level value is equals to 1. If the level value is equals to 1, then I will make a call to the admin controller, which is this. Okay, so here I have created an admin controller which extends to the base controller, and I have created a construct method. Okay, and then I have created an index function. Okay, so whenever I make a call to this admin controller, the very first function which will get executed is the index method, and inside that index method I have loaded my admin dashboard view, and inside that admin dashboard view I have written this markup. Okay, I have included header and footer, and then I have created a container and a row, and inside that row I have displayed a message as admin dashboard, and I have displayed username who is logged in. Okay, and that detail I'm getting from the session. Okay, so and this controller, admin controller, I have to create inside this controller folders. Okay, I hope you understood. Okay, and now suppose the person who is trying to log in is a normal user, then his value will be 2. Okay, here I will check if the level value is equals to 2, or if the level value is not equals to 1, which means anything else. Okay, if the level value is not 1, which will be 2 in this case, then I will be making a call to the user controller, which I have created here. Okay, the same controller, same type of code. Okay, here only the name is changed. Okay, here I have created a user controller which extends to base controller and a constructor as well, and then I have created an index method which calls the user dashboard view. Okay, and in that user dashboard view I have created this. So I have written this markup, okay, which includes header and footer files, and a container which has a message as user dashboard, and I'm getting the username data of that user from the session, and I'm displaying that to the user. Okay, I hope till here all of you have clearly understood. Okay, so now we have completely discussed the functionality of login using these files, like uh, we had started with the login view and then login controller, and then we moved on to the admin, okay, and then user.php. Then from the admin and user controllers we are making a call to admin dashboard if the admin gets logged in, and to user dashboard if the user gets logged in. Okay, and then okay, let me just close this. And now the last thing which is left is the logout functionality. Okay, so now we need to write the functionality of logout, and that I have written inside my home controller. Okay, so here I have created a home controller. As you can see, the same thing here as well. I have created a class with a name as home, which extends to base class, which is Codeigniter controller, with a construct method, and here as well I have created an index method, okay, which calls the home view. And inside that home view, okay, so if I make a call to home, okay, so here I have just written a message as home page, okay, because I have not done anything to this page. Okay, I have created here home view, okay, which has a simple message as home page. So whenever user tries to access this URL with the home controller, then I will be loading the home view. And then next, inside the home controller I have written the functionality for the logout. Okay, so now if I want to log out from the session, if I want to clear the session, then I will access this URL home/logout. Then session will get destroyed and I will be redirected back to the login page. Okay, so for doing that I have written a function here with the name as logout, which uses the session library's unset user data, and here I am passing the user ID of that logged in user. Okay, once I clearly destroyed the session data of that logged in user, then I again redirected the user back to the login page. Okay, so this is everything about developing the login functionality using PHP Codeigniter. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood everything whatever we have discussed in this complete video. Okay, and that's all for this video, and thanks for watching.